This Pitch Breakfast video is brought to you by Spangler and Agins, attorneys for Charlotte's startup community.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. And I'm Bernadette Malian, as you mentioned, and I'm here to pitch my business, Dress Charlotte, which is your local dress rental service. So at Dress Charlotte, we're looking to co-create Charlotte's largest closet for women to be able to rent dresses affordably and through our fun service that provides personal styling. So unlike other rental services, we actually source our inventory from other women in Charlotte. And so I know a lot of the women out here, you probably have a dress sitting in your closet that hasn't been worn in a couple years. Why not make a couple bucks off of it? So what we do is we ask women to rate their closets in order to find dresses that they'd like to loan. Then we'd set up an appointment with you to check out that potential inventory and then put it up for rent. And every time it gets rented, you get a commission, unlimited potential. You can also save money by renting dresses through us, and it's really simple and easy. You simply go to our website, and there you can check out our dresses and set up an appointment to actually try them on. You can also get other services from us that are complimentary, including hair, makeup, jewelry, accessories, and then all you have to do is wear it and then return it back to us in the mail, and we'll take care of all the dry cleaning. No more laundry. So there's a lot of guys out here, so you're probably wondering, what's the problem? What are you trying to solve here? So one of the things that you probably know is women buy a lot of clothes. We buy a lot of clothes. And turns out we only wear half of them more than once. So that's a lot of money wasted, that's a lot of closet space wasted, and that's also a sustainability issue. Social media, as you may also know, is pressuring us to not repeat outfits. Even if your friends weren't there last night, they still know what you wore because you posted on Facebook. And a lot of people are moving towards less ownership and more towards subscribing and sharing, especially millennials who'd rather spend their money on experiences rather than on physical things. And lastly, what I've learned in Charlotte after moving here is that women love the boutique experience. They love shopping local, they love knowing that what they're buying is unique, and they love having personal service. I've done some due diligence in terms of market size, both from stats that are out there as well as a survey I conducted with about 150 women in Charlotte, and found out there's at least a couple thousand women in Charlotte who would be interested in this kind of service. And the primary target segments that I'm looking to really go after is one, the biggest thing that women had said that they wanted to use this service for is for weddings. And so not just the people who are attending the weddings, but also the bridal party and the bride themselves, because we all know there's parties before and after the wedding, that it's not just the wedding that you're going for. There's also the professional socialites, and those are the women that I like to call, they need to look good for their day-to-day job, and so that could be people in fashion and media, in doing presentations like this today, and what I call sorority sisters. So yes, that could also mean people in sororities, but I categorize those as women who are really in the community, have local ties, who are doing a lot of events, and who have a lot of friends. So I have started my MVP. We have 300 dresses in inventory, a lot of them personally seated myself, unfortunately, but also a lot of dresses that I've gotten from the local community here. I've also done some testing to actually figure out, okay, how does this process work, and what are women looking to do? And I did a dress rental giveaway on social media and was able to test out and have made a lot of iterations and changes since then. And I've had some really great real client experiences, and I'm happy to share more about those. They just make me really happy, so check those out. And this is my team. I am excited to say that I will be graduating with my MBA in April, and we'll be launching the business soon after. And I have some great women here who have some experience in marketing and in fashion merchandising that have been helping me out along the way. And so my ask today is not for money, so don't worry about that. But I am looking for people who are willing to partner, women's organizations, complementary businesses that want to maybe cross-sell or cross-market. And all of you women or your wives and girlfriends that want to give their dresses to me, happy to take those off your hands, as well as potential advisors, particularly in retail operations and local marketing. And lastly, just to get your feedback about the business model and things that you think I can do better. So that's my pitch, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Cameras, what do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. What are some of the economics? What's the cost? Any of that? How much for a turn? How long does a dress last? Those kind of things.
Yeah, so my biggest model in the market is Rent the Runway. So a lot of women will know Rent the Runway. And what I've learned from them is that because they're owning all of their dresses, they have to average 8 turns per dress to be able to make each dress profitable. Luckily for me, between dry cleaning and the delivery cost, I can make every dress profitable from the first time it's rented out. So the price ranges are from $19 to $39. And on the low end, that would be about $10 of profit, and on the high end, it would be about $29 on profit.
One really quick thing. Do you ever see, or you haven't been in the business long enough, are you worried about people seeing the same dress on other people? Like, oh, that's my dress, or like, I wore that last weekend.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of guys ask me this, and actually I got some pushback from some guys that are like, well, I heard that women don't want to see other women wearing the same dress. And so, yes, that is true. But what I found is that women are actually, when they've seen their dresses get rented, one, they're excited because they're making money off of it, but two, it makes them feel like, oh, I have good style, someone else likes my style as well. And so the nice thing about it also is that because we do personal styling along with it, we can also dress up the dress in different ways with jewelry and all of that.
So is the dress returned to the owner? Am I understanding
Yeah,
that correctly?
so I don't actually own any of the dresses. I ask them to borrow them essentially. So a great example is I had a client the other day who is pregnant. And she said, take all these dresses. I'm clearly not going to be wearing them for the next 9 months, but I want them back when I'm skinny again. So, the dresses, they're on loan for me, and so that's why it doesn't cost me any money.
And then what happens if the dress is ruined?
Yes, great question. So, if the dress is ruined, what we do is when I take the dresses into inventory, I assess each of the dresses, and I base that. I give them an assessed value of what they would get if the dress was to be irreparably damaged. So someone gets really crazy, puts a bunch of wine on it, you can't ever wear it again. I give you that dollar amount that we agreed upon before I took it on.
Okay. And so are you purely an online presence? You don't have like a physical?
So right now I am online because I haven't yet started, but I am looking to move into a storefront potentially down the line, and hopefully be able to have multiple locations where people can also drop off and pick up their dresses.
So that's probably your challenge, just getting it out there, right?
Yeah, my biggest challenge right now is, right now I am working out of what I call my studio, which is an extension to my house, which luckily I have not run out of space yet. And I won't for a little bit. And that's one of the things I tested in my MVP was, are people going to feel weird about coming to my house, and what does that look like? But I've offered both for them to come to my house or for me to go to them. So that's been the options. And for the most part, everyone's been really happy with that.
And are your competitors the consignment shops?
I would say the biggest competitors, would be consignment shops, but the draw here is I'm really going for the dresses that women still like.
I know, because they're like old.
Usually,
It's true.
If you're giving it away or you're selling it, you're like, I could be done with it, and so I'm really going for the dresses that are still their favorites.
You could put it in like a food truck. You could have all your dresses like, you cruise it around, you pick it up and drop them off.
Yeah, I like the idea of that too.
I think I like that.
I think the pregnant thing's a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Focusing on that market. I've seen this done in other cities. So is it a success in these other cities that have kind of done this?
Yeah, one of the, as we all know, there's a lot of transplants here in Charlotte, and they're like, oh my, I've gotten so many women that have said, thank God there's finally something like this here in Charlotte, because we haven't had that. And again, the major differentiation between mine and theirs is that they are still owning all of the dresses. They don't actually borrow them from other women. And so for me, I'm able to be more profitable earlier on because I'm not taking on a depreciating asset that I'm going to have to eventually get rid of or sell.
Right.
Yeah.
That's smart.
In that light, stay away from the big retail, like monthly fixed cost.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah. So So all of those other businesses, they're acting like a retail store, except they're renting out instead of selling. Whereas I am, and again, we all know that fashion changes so quickly. After that season, you're gonna have to turn over your inventory anyway. And that's when I give them back.
So true sharing economy going on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audience, any questions? Yeah, right back there.
So as a man, I'll just go ahead and ask you to forgive my ignorance on the
Yeah.
subject. It seems like the differentiation that you're pitching between you and a runway is all on the owner side. If I am looking for dresses, why would I choose you instead of them?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things, and let's see here. So I've looked at all of the other, been prepared. So Rent the Runway is the biggest player in this space. I moved from New York City, and I was able to get same-day dress rentals from them because I live in that city, but if you live anywhere else, you can't get that. So if you rent from Rent the Runway and the dress comes to you and it doesn't fit or doesn't look good, like, that's it. You don't have another option. And so here you're able to actually try it on. And the other aspect of it is too, that we're at a much lower price point than Rent the Runway.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yes.
So just a couple of things. First one is, how do you plan to scale? Right now it's just a few.
Yeah.
You have to inspect every dress and assess it. So that's one question. And the second thing is, it would seem, well, at least my wife, when she gets a new dress, she needs new shoes.
Which I'm sure you love, yes.
Yeah. So just wondering if there are lots of complimentary services they have on it to help that revenue price.
Yes. So those are great questions. So yes, right now I am the main person, and and I haven't fully launched yet because my MBA has been keeping me from doing that. But that's what I'm hoping to do, and I do want to build out a team that will help me on the being able to inspect dresses and all that stuff. I can hire someone at a relatively low, like they do at the retail stores. So that's something that I'll have to take on. And in terms of scaling, actually my next steps immediately before going into a retail store is to move into those other areas where women want to rent. So right now I've been focused primarily on the dress and I actually did some surveys to ask, what's the primary thing that you'd be looking for? And the dress is kind of the biggest thing, but after I get my critical mass there, I'm gonna go move into jewelry and accessories. And also the other thing that I found out is women wanna buy, this is maybe too much information for you guys, but all the stuff that goes underneath the dress, women need that also, and so I'm looking to have those for purchase.
Last question.
Profit margins. When you look at it, and you have all these different services you're doing for each customer. You look at $20 or even $30. What does that profit margin look like? And then how many dresses do you really have to turn in any given month to really start seeing?
So I let's see here. On the $19 dress, and the things that I'm looking to scale right now, and I haven't quite gotten there yet, is just in terms of volume. Once I get to a certain point, I'm able to bring down both the mailing cost and the dry cleaning cost. Right now, I'm paying about $6, $7 for dry cleaning. I'm going to get it down to $3.50 once I have an agreed upon volume. And so you can see here on a $19 dress, I'm making a little over $15. And then for a $39 dress, and this is on the high end, assuming this is later on, assuming they do at-home consultation, accessory rental, and also some of the other things, and I'm making a little bit more on the higher end.